I was born here. I don't think my grandfather and my father ever really got along. Something bad must have happened way back there, because I barely remember when I was about 3 years old being pulled out of my mother's arms by my real father. We got on a horse and we galloped off into the swamp. We was befriended by Ned. Ned was an old freed darky who lived up the river. And he gave us refuge on his flatboat. Later, I've been told that my real father went into Natchez and got into a card game to win some money so we could get to Boston, where he was from. He never came back. Captain Ned later said that he probably got into a card game and got into a card fight, and somebody killed him. So Papa Ned took me and raised me on his flatboat, on the river, as his own child. Those were the happiest years of my life.
Stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni.
When I was 12, my life changed completely. One day, a farmer from the Kentucky country, Mr. John Mullins, galloped up to the bank where our boat was tied up. He said he was running from the law. So Papa Ned gave him refuge on our boat. For about 2.5 months, we were so happy. And then one day, Papa Ned got a fever. Something he drank from the river or something. And he died. I wanted to go with him, but I wanted to die with him, but John Mullins wouldn't let me. He took me, and we went south into the Louisiana swamps, into the Louisiana wilderness. And there for 2 years, we trapped animals for their skins. When I was 14, we took them skins to New Orleans, and we sold them and made a small fortune. And John, he introduced me to women. We bought houses, and we galloped west. We galloped west into the frontier. All the way to the Rocky Mountains. Oh, we lived like wild men. We was wild mountain men. We fought wild Indians. We fought wild Spanish adventurers. We stayed there for about 6 years, until I was 20. And then we decided it was time to get back to civilization. To tell you the truth, man, we was both half desperate for women. When we got back to New Orleans, we got settled and went into a saloon to get something to drink. John got into a card game. An argument took place over the cards. and then somebody pulled out a gun and shot him right before my eyes. He hit me over the head with a bottle. Some kindly monks took me to their monastery somewhere in the city, and they nursed me back to health. That really must have been some blow to my head because I kept waking up and going back to sleep, and waking up and going back to sleep. And finally, one day, I woke up for good. The kindly monks wanted me to stay and become one of them. They wanted me to study and become a priest. But ma'am, I didn't want to do that. They always looked at me so strange. They wore those long black robes and had pale white faces. Ma'am, those men scared me. So I ups and runs away. I followed the river to the edge of the city and then north into the swamp. I stayed to the east side of the river until I came back up here to Mississippi. Then I met a frontier gal whose name was Sally Martin. Sally Martin had a cabin on the east side of the river, and I lived with Sally for 2 years until she died trying to bring my baby into this world. When Sally died, I swore off women completely. I didn't want to be hurt again. So I went back to the flatboat, and for years and years and years and years, I fished. I fished on the river until 2 years ago when I just got so tired of being alone. So I went into Natchez and I got a job. I got a job as a mail delivery carrier, delivering the mail between Natchez and St. Louis, between St. Louis and Natchez. For 2 years, I lived lickety-split, delivering the mail between them two cities. And then, 1 month ago, I got a letter telling me that I was now the owner of this plantation.